is to negotiate their own agreement with the union, separate and apart from ours.
Yes.
They were under different. They're part of the union, but they had different agreement to us.
Were you in a day only gang? Was that gang over a day only gang? Gang 99 was. That was Charlie Young's gang.
When you say day only, this means they wouldn't take any other jobs, did they?
No, they got registered as a day
only gang.
Charlie Young's gang never used to do any shift work. See, that was a hangover from the timber with Charlie Young. See, they was always on timber boats, and there was very little overtime on timber boats.
I remember working with a flat with that gang 99 once at Hyman's. And I'd never heard of a day over gang up to this time. You know,
Was there many of them?
There was about 4 or 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, it suited them.
It wasn't much money. You know, mostly old blokes too.
They didn't.
Or Charlie had sitting because of being the union, his union work.
Yeah, but Charlie wasn't in the union then.
No, they just wasn't hungry for money, was they?
No, Charlie
wasn't chasing money.
Charlie wasn't even thinking about burning any cigarettes.
Peculiarities of different people. Jim Saunders would never work a Sunday.
Really?
He'd never work a Sunday. I've seen him ordered back of a Saturday and he's refused. And I used to go credited because it was against union principle, you know. There'd be no chance of a replacement sometimes.
That's right, yeah. Work a man short.
Yeah, well, what they used to do is if there was a gang, say there was 4 gangs on the ship, and one was ordered back for Sunday and it happened to be Saunders' gang, he refused to go back Sunday, go and get a man from one of the other gangs for the day. I asked them, would they voluntary work?
Why didn't he work Sunday?
The peculiarity, yeah.
Jesus.
He had odd spots, didn't he? Odd streaks.
Yeah, he reckons he maintained he got into real, you know, the tremendous work he done here, and the son was illiterate. Son was
the stupid looking bastard. There was another fella down at Portland, wasn't he?
Yes, that was a social fund too.
Yeah, that was the same thing. A $1 levy or something.
Yeah, for a social committee, and he was the bloody bloke that moved that the social committee be set up.
Yeah, that's well. We had a bloke in our gang, Georgie Bates. He used to play for Richmond. He's a Geelong Wharfie now. He's been all over, but he was up in Cairns, talking about where you get into trouble. So they've got up at the union meeting and sung Kirk the Red Fad for the International or something like that. So they finished and sat down and started the meeting. He got up and sang God Save the Queen. They said, get out of here, you bloody dill, you know. Georgie Bates, yeah. Oh, he hated comms, George. Oh, jeez. He thought...
Really anti-com, wasn't he?
He thought that...
But he hungry.
No, I just realised I never had any lunch and I'm that tired. One beer started to make me feel...
Why didn't you say so?
I wasn't feeling hungry. I never had any lunch because I wasn't hungry.
Pints and cheese?
Pints and cheese and things, yeah. And I just thought I'd better go and go sleep in the car going home.
Did you hear that, Winnie, about this bloke?
Yeah.
Georgie Bates?
No.
Oh, it's on the tape anyway.
Go on, tell me.
I'll be on the tape twice. Yeah, they threw him out.
Well, they're ready for like in Queensland, weren't they?
Look, to Cairns, gee, no more than 32 articles on a tray. Doesn't matter whether their knobs are blue or anything. 32 articles.
They were good up there, weren't they?
Cairns.
When?
Oh, 1953, 50.
Really?
Yeah.
They were good, wasn't they?
Oh, well, I haven't to Queensland since, I'm sure.
It's not Queensland's fault, too.
Cairns, yeah.
Yeah, Cairns was. See, Lucinda, they closed a lot of. I think what happened up there, they closed down a lot of Lucinda Point. A lot of the sugar ports closed down when the bulk started.
Oh, spreading the
That's right. That's right. So, you know, and we had a bloke out of our gang, Bert Hall. He went up there and they called him a lemon drop kid. He used to live on lemons and raisins and I don't know what happened. I'd have to store.
They wouldn't be used to that sort of thing up there.
No, he was very, very eccentric. For this fella. Yeah, Bert Hall. He had a pilot's license. He was a master painter. You name it, he was it. This bloke could do anything. But he was that strange, you know. He was like a Walter Mitty that could really do all the things. You know, in reverse. Gee, it was funny, Bert. Anyway, went up there. And the last time I saw him was in 56. He came down. He rode his motorbike down from Cairns. So that's not a bad ride. He had a pair of plastic pants on. And I reckon his skin came off with it when he took him off. Oh, it was sweat. It was in the middle of summer, you know. But that's what they call him up there, the lemon drop kid. Yeah.
Cairns is not a big port now, is it?
I don't know. I've never been there in my life.
It's pretty small now.
It's out of my area. Then I've never been on.
I don't know when he's in Cairns.
Pato, do you know Tiger Road?
He was coming to work on Sunday morning. We're working at 28 South.
Mm.
So the first I see of it, he gets out of a taxi with his young son Paul, and he comes over. So it's about 5 to 8, you know, just before work. So we work away. So that was all that happened, you know. Now about a week later, the story got around that Charlie used to thumb rides. He never paid for a ride in his life, and he got out of this cab, and the gang gave him the big business about being in a taxi and paying. So the story is he's out in Bridge Road thumbing a ride to work. And this car pulls up. Charlie gets in, says to the bloke, "What sort of car is this?" The fella says, "A Holden or something. Best car on the road." Because he said that to everybody. As soon as he got a ride, and he said, "What sort of car is this, mate?" "A Ford. Best car on the road." This got him a ride. So he gets in, he said to this kid, "Get in the back, Paul." So Paul gets in the back, and they go along, and he said, "Hey, Dad, shut up, son, I'm talking to the driver." "Where you going, mate?" And the bloke said, 28 South. He said, "All right." So, "Dad, shut up." But anyway, he's trying to tell him it's a taxi. Charlie doesn't know. So they pull up at 28 South, and the bloke said, "That'll be a quid, mate, you know." But the story wasn't, "Hey, Dad, you know, shut up, son, I'm talking." But that didn't happen really, because Charlie told me he couldn't get a ride off anyone, so he got a cab, you know.
The first time in his bloody.
Yeah, but the story went around it. But one day he's on a tram. This really did happen. One day he's on a tram going home, and he used to have 496 tram tickets in his top pocket. And they'd say, "Fares, please," you know. He'd say, "Oh, it's in there, mate," you know. And he was that sort of mumbly way. They'd say, "Oh, all right." So one day this Dutchman, I think he was, Dutchman, he said, "Oh, that's all rubbish." He said, "Where is your ticket?" Charlie said, "It's in there." And he bought out these tram tickets, you know. And he's only one stop from home. He said, "You don't get off, pay, you get off the tram." Charlie said, "All right." So he stands up, picks up his you know, concertina bag he had, and he goes, ping, and he hit this bloke right in the point. And up he went, because he's a good puncher, Charlie, he could hit. And Charlie said, "You told me about it." Next day he said, "There was pennies and halfpennies all over the tram, and all the kids are picking them up, you know, and the blokes lying out there unconscious, he's back." And Charlie said, "I was sweet," he said, "I was right on my home stop, you know, I just got up." But he was funny. And I'll tell you what else I did, which was highly amusing, but, you know, it was a bit rough. But him and Stan Cockles, Cockles was giving him a ride. First of all, he's standing on the corner, and up pulls a great big Bentley or Rolls Royce or something. No difference to Charlie. Pulled the door up, and there's a woman sitting in the back. He said, "Are you going to Hawthorne, lady?" And she said, "Shut that door." So he shut the door, and Cockles drives up. So he said, "Follow that car, Cockles." So they're going up Flinders Street, and he pulls up alongside, and Charlie used to have a habit of going, "Too," you know, when he was crook on something, he'd go, "Oh, too." So he winds down the window and he goes, "Too," to this woman. So she winds down there, and she's going, and they're spitting at each other all the way, "Too, too," all the way up fucking Flinders Street. Ah. Unreal. But there was a lot of stuff I didn't put in there because the article was too long. It was a couple of thousand words anyway, you know.
Yeah. Well,
They reckon about Glasson, you know, they reckon when the Undertaker was taking him out, he'd be bluer because it'd be the only bloody ride he was paying for.
His wife finished. His wife finished becoming a bit funny, you know.
Did she?
Yeah, well, when he died, you know, I rang up. I was talking to him a week before he died. He had a heart attack, you know. And he said, "I'm the oldest Glasson member of the family. Like, the old man died when he was 50. Maury died when he was 52. I've made 56. A week later, he's dead." So I rang up Mavis, his missus. "Look, no bet. Don't send no flowers, don't send no cards, and don't come to the funeral. That's it." So that was it. You know, she wouldn't even let us say hello. You know, goodbye, Charlie, which was very strange. But
she didn't like him being a wharfie.
Oh, she didn't. You feed Charlie, she used to had a thing about stacked high heel leather shoes, and used to spend all his money on it. Well, not all his money, but you know. And she was a nice looking type of woman, dressed up beautiful, you know. And Charlie would be come home from work and he'd see her
With a concentrator.
with his greasy, rotten cat, and his filthy hat, and his bloody bag that used to bounce as he walked along was all, you know.
Concentrator.
Yeah. And she used to run up. She used to go and hide from him.
Did she?
He'd say, "Hey, Ravers." Oh, Charlie. Yeah, she wouldn't, you know.
Well, Hawthorne's got to respect them.
Oh, that's right. That was
A beautiful animal.
It wasn't his joint. It was her joint. It was her
Well,
father's. Yeah, as he didn't like the old father-in-law either.
Well, it was interesting because what's his name? Jack Baker.
Jack Baker, yeah.
Jack Baker's wife.
Dorothy Baker.
Didn't
I
like
know
him
Jack
being a
well.
bloody wharfie
He lives near me.
in Borland.
Well, Foot's great.
No, this one's in
Jack
Borland.
Baker, Dorothy Baker's father.
Yeah, he lives out there.
He lived in bloody.
He used to live.
Yes, he used to. He lives in Borland.
Oh, yeah.
He lives near Dorothy.
A nice bloke,
Nice
Jack.
bloke. His wife's lovely too, but she said she never admitted that he was a wharfie.
He never even had a car. Jack, I used to pick him up on the corner.
No, that's right. He's got a little tiny one about this big now, but he never admitted he was a wharfie. She'd never admit it. And she didn't like Dorothy, and she said Dorothy cured that because she was sort of, you know, oh, you're a friend of Dad's, but you know, Mum used to say, oh, he's in transport or something, you know.
Yeah. Charlie used to call himself a cargo manipulator. You know, they say, what's your occupation? I'm a cargo manipulator, right? But honestly, I could tell you things about that man that's unreal. I could have written another 3 articles about him, but I couldn't fit it all in.
Why don't you? Because you could write, say, 3 like still
His
put
wife
all
might
into
sue
one.
me.
Well, you could always call them different name.
Yeah, but you know, anyone associated with Charlie knows him, you know, and knows what he's like.
I mean, the point is that's after all. No one says me, and I'm you know, you're doing this chat.
He really was a funny man.
That bloke that he ironed out and broke his nose there was Harry the Jew, really. You remember Harry the Jew?
Aye.
He finished. He's dead now. They thieved that much stuff off the wharf. He bought himself a truck and left, and crashed it up and killed himself. The first. He was Harry the Jew. I don't know what he was, what his next name, but I changed his name in that.
All you got to do is change their name. How long ago did he die?
10, 15 years.
He died quite young. In his 50s.
Charlie was 56.
Yeah, well, this I reckon that you can make a very good little volume of stories by, like, you know, by Wolfies. I mean, you could probably put in even one of John Morrison's shorter ones or a few extras.
He's out of this world, that Morrison. The way he describes working on there's one story he wrote, Tom. I was that impressed with it. I read it about 10 times.
Sugar House one?
No, this was about somewhere around the dock when these blokes were coming to work. And they just started, 8 o'clock start or something, and they were breaking off the old steam winches. They were breaking off bits of timber to make seats out of, and the winch was going clickety-clack, and the mist was over the river. And it was a fantastic. I was that wrapped in. I could see it. I could do it. Like I could hear the noises. That's the most descriptive bit of writing I've ever heard.
Yes,
He's terrific, writer.
See, the
Sugar
winches
House-
never had seats to them one day or anything, some of them, and you'd go there. Now, you was there for 8 hours at that bloody winch, concentrating.
Yeah.
And you'd look for a bit of board or something to jam in.
You could wedge it underneath just so that you made yourself a seat. And what about the guys that carried their own bits of bike chain, a piece of timber with a bit of bike chain and a hook on it, and you put it over the winch handle was at a right angle like that.
There's one out in the shed there.
And is there? Yeah.
What, a winch handle?
No, a winch is personal winch handle, and you had it so it fitted down over it had a groove in it that fitted over the bar going that way.
Yeah.
And a hole in it to fit it over the top of the thing, and a piece of chain and a lock nut.
Yeah.
And it made it that easy, didn't it, to turn the steam on and off.
Sometimes the steam handle would get hot too, you know.
They were
There's
beautiful.
one out in there.
Yeah. I knew you had one. You're an old bloody decky.
Yeah, there's one out in the shed there.
Yeah,
Not like a chain on, but one with the hook on, you know.
I like the stories about the later ones I wrote. I reckon are better than that because I got my style better. I reckon I've improved, you know. because I write like I talk,
Yeah.
and that's I think that's you know it comes over better that
The
way.
secretary of that organisation had a battle, McIntyre,
Who's that?
McIntyre, the secretary of the Foremen's Association. He had a battle there. Do you remember Scott was the secretary? Yeah.
Oh, Royce Foley.
Hey, Foley.
Royce Foley, he's gone now. He's
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah.
So my articles are finished because he was the editor. I was giving him the stuff. So he's now he's not the editor. Now I don't write any stuff because it's no good. I can't get it published. Not that I was only doing him a favour anyway.
Can't you get it published?
Oh, I don't want to write it if there's nowhere to put it.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm just saying. That, you know, we
What
could
about McIntyre, the secretary now?
McIntyre, no, he's a bloody state secretary. He's nothing.
this is the national paper, is it?
Yeah.
I sent them your letter, you know, that letter you told me, so I cut out it, I chopped a bit out, I photocopied a bit out of Weevils and sent it, and thought so they might like to reprint it. But how often does it come out?
2 months.
Yeah, well, it doesn't come out in December.
Bi-monthly, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. How many foremen are there? I mean, how many in it?
Well, I don't know.
Commonwealth basis.
Not many, about 500 or something.
Oh, it's too little. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, it's only a little union. Yeah.
That's very good to bring out a magazine that size every 2 months for a
I don't think anyone reads it, Westy. I think it comes in the mail and just say, what's this with the bloody bills and out it goes, you know. But one I liked I wrote was called And the Dog Said Thank You, which is the name of the article, which I liked. I thought it was good, the article. That was one it was really interesting, I reckon. Wasn't nothing to do with the waterfront.
No, what was it about?
All sorts of strange, weird type, wild tunnel fighter. I said, well, I'll take you down. I went, Les, he was a coloured boy, an Aboriginal kid. I said, are you any good? He said, I've knocked this one out. He said, I'm the up-weight kid. He said, I've knocked this one out. He was about a middleweight, you know. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I went down the gym with him, and he wasn't bad, you know. A good puncher, but raw. So I said, all right, we'll take you to Ambrose Palmer. So I take him to Ambrose Palmer. So her should be in there. Lou has just had his nose all straightened. He's had it beautiful. Well, you know what's going to happen naturally. So Palmer said to the kid, he said, get in and spar a few. Lou, he said, box a few rounds with this kid, you know, take him and see how he goes. So he didn't know how to spar. He didn't know all he knew was when you got in a ring, you went whoosh. So Lou said, you right, kid? Yeah, right. And he's gone bang, and he hit Lou right in the nose. And he snapped it like a carrot. And it went back to its S bend, original S bend. And Lou said, that's it. Get him out. Look what you've done, you know. Yeah, that's what happened to Lou.
Was this boy a wharfie too?
No, this was in a wool store, working in a wool store just before I came down the wharf. It was
case, you know.
There's a
Got a bad heart, has he?
yeah, I know. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any figures on the
Tall, skinny kid when I knew him.
I wonder if there's any figures on like whether wharfies have more of these things than others because of the rigors of their occupation.
I think a heart
Queen's report, that's all.
Yeah, but I don't think heart attacks are a big heavy thing on wharfies now. I read recently about wharfies in the Age or the Australian. The method of work on the wharf is you work hard for 2 or 3 minutes, then you sit down and have a spell. Then the next one comes in, you work it, and it's the best thing for your heart. Consequently, wharfies don't have as many heart attacks
as when they're carrying bags.
Sure, as sedentary occupation type people, you know.
Isn't it? Because there's nothing like that on the wharf now of carrying bags.
Nah, it's finished.
That's why people look
at
standing around because there's such a lot of intermittent work.
Yes.
See, they'd have to go outside and get exercise.
Well, that's what a bloke said to me the day. He got out the fork and he walked back to the mess room from right down the other end. I said, why didn't you drive the fork down? He said, oh, mate, he said, no exercise. So I've got to keep my heart pumping, you know. Yeah. Well, that's right. It's work, you know.
Yes, I think that...
You remember that story I told him earlier in the piece of Charlie Shintley, you know, carrying 200-pound bags and getting an hour and a half sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the sort of thing that killed you.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
The sort of thing.
Yeah, well, that's true. But the method of work on the wharf, Tom, since I've been there, is you got your own sling, your side, down below. You make up your own sling, you send it out. Then theirs is the other side's next turn. So you make up yours and you sit in. And
You got a break. Did
you work hard for a couple of minutes, then you had a couple of minutes spell. And according to this heart specialist, that type of work is your heart works hard for a minute,
Yeah.
then you relax, then you work hard, and so on. This went on for years and years. That is good for your heart.
Yeah, well, this of course it was really in the bad old days when you was
When
you were rushing under
Yeah,
pressure all the time.
you know what the
Pressure.
wages are down at the Ironbird a year now,
Yeah.
Wendy? 18,000.
Yeah.
5 midnights. Lummy Hamilton done 5 midnights. He done
Bloody lummy.
one midnight. One
Yeah.
midnight. $520 for a week.
What do you mean? It's 5 midnights or 1 midnight?
Well, he was rostered for 5, but he only had to do
The
one.
one. Yeah, they get paid for 5. Well,
And they work 4 on and 4 off, the Hillcliff.
do they?
Yeah, because of the noise.
That's just,
Bucks.
so
Yeah, but-
that's the sort of a week's wages that we get, more or less. Like,
Do you get the same as a wharfie?
no, I'm on a set wage. I'm on a,
You don't. Doesn't matter how much.
I don't get overtime. I just,
I see you might work overtime. But you don't.
that's right. But I also might have day off by tomorrow.
Yes, well, that's not the bad old days now. See, that's,
Well, that's good money.
that's more than a teacher gets.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
the and
it's
well,
a bit-
I left school when I was 13.
Yeah.
Not because I had to,
See,
because I
they
wanted to.
say that
Your wages are really tied with the wharfies. If they get
That's
the
right.
wages,
That's
you've got
exactly
to work,
right.
so you don't have to do anything.
That's exactly
see,
right.
these
We're
kids,
on their backs.
That's right.
Our union's on their back.
Yes, that's right.
those fellas down at the Ironbird, a young fella down at the Ironbird, a single fella, if he looked after himself, and, went along reasonably well, he could build up a.
Oh, terrific, man.
The seamen on that iron duke and those iron boats there, they do 5 trips, and then they're off for about 3 months.
Yeah.
They're all got properties in bloody up the Hawkesbury River.
1 on 1 off they used to work. Now they work 2 on 2 off. Now they work 3 on 3 off.
Yeah. Glenn Dowdle gets he works, I think, a month. He's a steamer cook. Yeah. That's a month or something. It's quite a. But you see, now how has this come about? Is this purely and simply because the seamen and the wharfies foresaw the redundancy thing and
I think
organised for it in advance?
I think exactly that's what's happened.
Yes.
There was a lot of forethought in that union. I don't know who had it, but there was a lot of.
Healy, back in the
Well,
He set the thing on train.
Hurley was a genius.
Yeah, he said this is going to come and we've
Yeah.
got to prepare.
But Hurley could see 20 years into the future.
Yeah.
Tom, we couldn't. When they started all this stuff.
I remember
what does he
really
know?
at the West Melbourne Stadium saying to him once they used to laugh at him about idle time and the parents' money and all that sort of thing. He said, just what you said, in 20 years' time you won't know this industry.
Another bloke that was pretty smart with all this stuff. And a bloke that you wouldn't expect to be a genius with, well, not a genius, but with that so much forethought was a fellow named Ned McCall. Ned had articles and books from America and England showing us stuff that they were doing there 10 years ago that we hadn't even started. Oh, that won't happen here, Ned. Go away, you another bloody comp. But he was right. He had all these pre-packed
You know what
stuff.
Ned's downfall was? He used to canvass around for votes around the waterfront on political issues instead of economical issues.
That could be right too, because
The last time he stood for a position in the union, he had a lot of young kids with him on the ticket with him, and he ran a campaign on political issues instead of running it on.
He was a fairly clever bloke, is he?
Oh, Ned.
my word, he was. Ned.
How old is he, Tom?
He's as old as me.
Oh, he's only 11. Oh.
Thanks, love.
Now listen, what is the future then of this high wage industry? I mean, is it going? Do I give you back? Yes, I did.
Yes, thanks.
Is it going to? I mean, this sort of protection. I mean, how is the industry getting smaller and smaller?
Yes.
And it is there, and it is now
Handling more and more cargo.
Pardon?
But it's handling
More
record numbers of cargo all the time.
Are there now too many men on the water?
Yes.
And what will happen as they go off? the redundancy.
Well,
They just won't recruit.
Yeah, I see.
The old
And
guys.
then we run into another problem here, which we run into one before on this question. We run into the problem of age. Pro rata age, say an average of 45 years, we'll say, just to use that as a, unless there's some recruiting
Yeah,
of new,
That's
younger members, the age limit will get up that high, but that will create a problem both for the union and the ship owner.
Hobart's got
Because-
that problem right now.
Who?
Hobart.
Mm.
There's no young wharfies in Hobart. They're all in their 50s.
All in their 50s.
Now you mean that they'll all get to be in their 60s.
All together, that's
Everybody
right.
will be old on the waterfront. Nobody
That's-
can do a heavy lift.
And there's
Right.
been nobody trained for the.
Yeah, but you don't need any training there, Tom. All you need to be able to do is drive a bloody forklift or a
Yeah.
crane.
But then you're only on containers. There must be still some training because they're still training.
Oh,
guys
yeah,
at school down
Certainly
there.
there are, yes.
But it is in fact becoming a. I mean, I wonder how many men on the Melbourne waterfront now?
2,000
Two,
for it.
yeah,
And how what
about
was the peak?
7,000.
And they're handling more stuff from the.
If you
Well,
go
it's
over
got
all over the
unbelievable.
Commonwealth, you've dropped from 25,000 to about 11.
Well, it's 28 when I
28,000.
28,000 men in 1950 because I remember reading a thing Tom Hurley put out about it,
It's down to
28.
11.
and it's 11 now, isn't it?
About 11.
And now, how many could you do with now?
They've trebled the cargo. I reckon you could drop another 100 off at each port. Say you get it down to 10,000, cover the whole.
When you stop to think of it, the port of Melbourne is the biggest port of the lot. Bigger than Sydney.
Oh yeah, I knew it was bigger than Sydney.
I wonder why, Tom.
Cargo's coming in.
Yeah, I wonder why the cargo.
I don't know. The industries, there's more industries in
This,
Sydney.
yeah, this,
It
but
should
this,
be.
this
Sydney
state,
should still be the major port.
it should be, but it hasn't got enough room, Tom.
Yeah.
But
you
then,
know.
of course, there's Wollongong
Course,
and Newcastle.
Oh, you've got a lot of-
When it all be
And,
together,
and
wouldn't
they've
it?
just opened
You
up.
put your finger on it.
Yeah.
they
There's only two ports here, Geelong and Melbourne.
Yeah.
see, there's another aspect of that too, that they've opened up that, what's the bay around, the new bay they opened up,
Western Port.
no, in Sydney.
Oh.
No,
Jarvis Bay.
oh gee.
I didn't even know that happened.
First
But-
settlement. First
Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
well,
rotten-
They're
that's
opening
right,
that
yeah.
up
The
as
oil on
What
there.
a rotten
and
joint that is.
containers.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see. So
Oh.
in other words,
And then we have,
four ports
then
in-
we-
in
then
New
we have
South Wales.
then we have a development here
Mm.
of Western Port,
That's not very big though.
but
No.
I think it will develop now.
Oh yeah, but it won't be, you know.
And
I
I think
there's a limit to what you
There's
can.
Warrnambool, there's
Warrnambool,
Warrnambool and Portland and
Portland and
Yeah.
Geelong
Well,
Geelong.
Portland's never been much trouble. They've always been very disappointed in Portland, haven't they? They've always really had
spent
great
some
things.
bloody money there.
Ge-
I know, but
Geelong's only got 200 men, haven't they?
Really?
Yeah.
And Portland's as big as that?
Nah, they're all part-time casual farmers and whatever, you know.
So I bet it wouldn't be the most military.
Really,
Oh, you're kidding.
Port.
I said, what's that, man? What did you say the name of it was again? Oh.
Mm.
No, they're nothing then.
Well, I wonder then if the tonnage in the whole of New South Wales, the tonnage in the whole of Victoria, which would be the greatest, probably New South
I
Wales.
think New South Wales would
It's got a
because
bigger
they've got all those,
population.
they've got Newcastle, as
Yeah.
Judy said, it's diversified.
Yeah, that's right. And there's Wollongong, you know.
Yeah.
And they're still
There's no question, I think, that eventually the time will come when the waterside workers will disappear as an organisation. Waterside Workers Federation. It will disappear into one of the other unions,
Right.
transport.
I don't think so. I think it'll go the other way.
Well, or one way or the other it'll
Yeah.
go.
I
It'll have
think
to merge with some
If there's going to be a maritime union, I reckon
seamen.
seamen, wharfies, anyone that's connected with the waterfront, I still
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the waterside workers will
Will run
be
it.
the big voice in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's only my opinion, Tom.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
not-
had long
So the
It'll
same,
depend on what happens to the
the
industry.
same
Well,
thing.
it's basically
What's
What's
Yeah.
happening to the waterside workers is happening to the seamen's union as well.
Yes, it
What,
is.
shortage,
Yeah.
smaller crews.
It's inevitable that they're going to amalgamate the wharfies and the seamen.
Yeah.
But as long as they can get the engine drivers and firemen and all those little shitty unions, in with the waterside workers.
And probably, I think as capitalism becomes more centralised and more monopolised, the unions are forced to
Join up.
organise, and so to fight on an industry basis,
I think so.
effectively.
And why is it they're able to get the conditions that they are today with such a smaller membership? But
Because
still a
they got
very
control.
vibrant-
They got a monopoly. They were doing it. They thought about it early enough, Tom.
Mm.
I think.
And they just can't afford to hold up bloody container ships. They're thousands of dollars each day.
What the bloke told me, 28,000. This is just one of our ships.
Union company.
$28,000 a day. The union rudder Woody.
Mm.
20 every day that's in port.
Port is $28,000.
$28,000 a day.
It's earning nothing.
That's right. But once she's at sea, she's in the biggies. You get maybe $1 million a trip they're getting.
Mm.
You know, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
well, see, they can afford it, but
Well, so they're prepared to give concessions.
That's right. And
But
also,
they can
you
charge
were
what they
organised.
like
They didn't
anyway.
want it to come, but if you hadn't been organised in advance to demand it, they bloody well wouldn't.
Oh,
would
that's
they?
right.
I mean, they're multinationals, aren't they? And they're not. Now, listen, Tim, something's interested me. I don't know whether this is because of the left propaganda or not, but when the wharfies talk about, the boss, they talk about the ship owners. Now, really, in actual day-to-day content, it isn't the ship owners, it's the stevedoring companies, isn't it? Except in a case like yours where the ship owners do their own stevedoring. Well, you'd think that the push of their militancy and their boss hating would be against the stevedoring companies, but there's not. It's against the ship owners. I mean, they see the ship owners as the ultimate
Yeah.
Well,
employer.
that's
don't they?
where.
That's,
Well, they are. Ultimately, they
that's
are.
right.
They pay us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
But I would have thought that it would have been more masked and that it would have been more hating the stevedores. Whereas the stevedores, perhaps it's because the ship owners are sitting in their office in London or wherever, quite remote and immensely big
absentee
and
landlords.
Pardon?
Absentee landlords.
Landlords. And I think it's the old Australian thing of hating the
Yeah.
absentee capitalists. And also, one thing about the stevedores is they're really small enough on the whole for you to have some sort of personal relations with.
That's very true.
You can have personal relationship with
Yeah,
Strang.
sure.
Then Vicks, were crook.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if they had anything to do with it, because it's a little bit like the squatters.
Yeah.
Men didn't hate the squatters as much as they hated the banks.
I think it's traditional.
Yeah.
The ship owners have always been bad employees, like the coal miners, and the battlers have always been the wharfies.
Yeah.
It's extreme right. Extreme right always produces the same feeling.
If you wanted a lousy pair of gloves on the job or something
Right.
like that, you still had to battle for it, didn't you? They never ever give anything.
Yeah,
Well,
I got to go myself.
Yeah.
They never ever give anything willingly. did they?
Nothing. Teachers, cut your hands to bits. Sorry, you have to get a board of reference. We're not
Get a
giving you
board of
a rotten, lousy pair of
Now,
hands.
why did they do this, though?
Because they hate us.
But also, the shipping companies obviously were giving the stevedoring companies such a small margin that the stevedoring
think
companies
so,
had
yeah.
to resist.
Well,
very
basically,
hard.
Everyone was
basically,
looking
it
for
gets
profit.
down to this: it don't matter how liberal Don Strang is. What did he say to Ernie Biggs and the foreman? Tom's coming to see you. Now he's not like the rest of that shit down there.
Yeah.
And that's the answer.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
That's
Let's go home and have a look at it.
I will, Wendy.
Very hard for them, I know, and especially working class kids who, gone to the university, expected to get something. Their parents have made sacrifices for them. They think they expect to get something.
Yeah.
But it's education and then coming at the end of it with nothing. It's really rotten.
She did that public service thing a while back.
The public service exam.
Yeah.
Oh,
She said it was a breeze.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
That doesn't mean a thing. That's
no, well,
right.
they're making it very hard to get in. They're making it very hard to get in. I mean, they've got university. Well, like her, they've got university graduates sitting for what used to be fourth and fifth form kids used to be sitting for them. Now they've got university graduates, which is getting hard.
Giving these teachers a high stration.
Oh yes, well you see, this business of contract teaching is absolutely terrible. They're bringing teachers out, coming out, they're offering them 3-month appointments.
Yeah.
My other
It's no good for kids to have somebody who's going to be. It's no good for the teachers, no good for the children.
my eldest bloke's the delegate over there at Westall. His wife's the assistant to the delegate at
Western
Cheltenham High
High School or Brumham?
High School.
Yeah, well, they're in the VSDA, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're getting more united, I tell you.
Yeah.
They're getting strong. They're not going to weaken. They won't weaken. There was 15,000 on
Yeah.
that
Trouble
the
with
other
teachers
day.
is their bloody white collar. And the trouble is you can always find, well, there's not so many of the old guard left now, but there's a lot of teachers, God love them, think that if you've got a good argument, you're going to win. You know, I was talking to the VSDA delegate at Richmond Girls High yesterday.
Yeah.
And
He's kicked me in the guts today, but he mightn't do it next week.
Yeah, he might be nice to me.
Is parking all right around the corner there, Tom? Is you
Eh?
park there all the time around that corner?
around the corner, is it able
Yeah,
to park there?
there's nobody.
No, I don't.
There's no limitation on parking there.
I just saw young Glenn Critch. You know Glenn Critch? Drives a truck. I said, we didn't know it.
Yeah.
Where's Tommy Hills? He said, you mean the old wharfie? I said, yeah. He said, that's where he lives there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Tom and Dot got this. Tell them how you got it, Tom, in the Depression. Was it
This-
dry?
No, he's a foreman.
He was,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he was a great bloke.
lovely.
Tell me about this whole foreman wharfie sort of thing. I was talking to Don Strang about this, and I said, it seems, like he and Tom are pissing each other's pockets. Don't say you weren't, you weren't. And, and be nice to each other and say, oh, well, yes. You think the bloody clients...
What's she trying to do, this Bert? Bluey? She tried to put him in the red corner, me in the other bloody
I
corner.
did it too, didn't I?
We got the sack once.
He amazes me. I'm not talking disrespectfully. I've got a lot of time for him. He's my treasure in this time.
Tell me the story you were going to tell me.
Oh, sorry.
Our gang got the sack. The Bobby Sockers. Remember the Bobby
Bobby
Sockers?
Sockers, yeah.
Well, I was the oldest. I was 23 then, and I was the oldest bloke in it.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 of them dead now. Bert
Is it?
Collins and Normie Timms,
Is it?
Gogs Chapman. They all died.
Yeah.
Young. Yeah, sure. Anyway, we got a front for assaulting the supervisor, insufficient tonnage. Oh, you know. And Ralph was the supervisor.
Ralph, little Ralph.
Yeah, he tripped over and they were picking him up and they were all covered in cement, and they rolling him over under the hook, and there's all this cement. You should have seen him in his blue suit. Oh.
What if he fell over and you rolled him in it?
Well, they
They
did.
picked
They
him
were
up.
trying to pick him up, helping
They're
him.
rolling him.
And that Baron Beaumont was another one. He died in jail just a while back. He
Yeah.
was in there for murder.
Murder, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's got nothing to do. So, Vinny's, we front the Fuhrer. You know, Harry Neal, he looked down, he only looked at you once when he's laying a muscle on you. So, Vinny's our advocate. So we're all standing there, and blokes have borrowed hats and everything, running about 18 and 19, they're all, underage. We're all standing there, and he said, well, what have you got to say, Mr. McNamara? He said, this gang, they're all only young fellas, he said. And we were too, Well, I was the oldest, and I was 23. That's with the Bobby Sockers. And he said, their tonnage is terrific. And he said, and there are other jobs. So he said, I'm not talking about the other jobs. He said, this particular. So the $2 give everyone up. They said he was one, and he was another, and he was another, and he's another, One of them was an ex-scat too, red-headed bloke.
Oh,
Worked for the Vics.
yeah, I know the bloke.
He's dead now in his place. Anyway, so that goes on, and he's saying, right, well, all you young fellas, he said, I'm going to break up this gang completely. He said, and you're all suspended for a month from that day, and none of you are allowed to join a gang. Oh, the things he laid on us were terrific. Anyway, he said, what have you got to say, Mr. McNamara? He said, their tonnage was good.
That's all he had to say, wasn't it?
So we all walked out the joint, and a month later we came back to work, And we had written on the back of our dockets, not to join a gang under any circumstances without special permission of the local rep. So we were all flat. They all went in the coal. But I didn't want to go in the coal. And Glasson eventually got me in his gang, only because I had a car. I'd give him a ride.
How long were you in the Bobby Sockers?
It only lasted 6 months, the gang.
It's pretty putting a whole lot of kids in one gang.
No,
They
well,
didn't usually do that.
No, they didn't put us in. We formed a gang ourselves. There were the O'Sullivans, Kevin and Johnny O'Sullivan, Kevin O'Connor from Port.
Listen, I'll tell you about you.
Wait a
bloody-
minute, come on.
Yeah.
Normie Timms, his brother Spider Timms, he's dead now. Normie died of lung cancer at 36, never smoked in his life. Gogs Chapman, he died of kidney trouble. You remember Gogs, the Chapmans over there? Pooh Collins had a heart attack.
It still makes me depressed. I'm 52, it's time to go.
So am I, though. 1927 was a good year. Pooh Collins, he died. He went woman. He died of a heart attack. Wally Bianco from down here in Williamstown Road. You remember Wally?
Yeah.
Wally the Lout. And Billy Layton, the kid that played football for Footscray, runs the two up now. Lionel Nabby Hollington. Yeah, I forget him now.
So these
That
are
many of them.
and you all got
Listen, Bert.
Yeah.
I win him once on a bloody job. Now forget the name of the ship, but she had a swinging derrick, and the bobby sockers was put right on the arse end of the ship. See? And the supervisor wakes that he's got to put cars in. The bloody swinging derrick's going out into the error, onto the walk, anywhere but down the hole. They say, good Christ, Tom, you're the delegate, ain't you? Yeah. What am I going to do? They're going to take cars in. How do you think the cars will go with this pot?
Yeah.
Because he's bloody got the bobby sockers.
what,
The Agnes was
we
the
all,
only
yeah,
last
all
one,
you were. You, I mean, didn't they put a...
No, we were all
Well, you
newies.
care bloody less where the car goes.
We all joined about the same time.
They couldn't care bloody less where the car
I
goes.
would have thought you would have had to have been in with an experienced
Nah.
people.
Jimmy Beaumont, or Rupert James Beaumont, he murdered a bloke out there. He died in jail. A while he had a heart attack, yeah. He come from down here. He used to wreck cars open, pinch cars and drop them over cliffs and everything.
Yeah.
Lovely.
One of the bobbies.
Yeah.
You can't be flat out trying to make the bloody wharfies sound respectable. You know, the bloody book's going to be...
What about the next gang? This next gang I was in, the Edwardses were in it. The O'Haras and the from Baghdad. There was Benny Edwards, Turk, Bull, and Butts. And they used to call Butts Crumpet Neck. And Benny the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, because he had that big red nose, you know. And the Turk, he was a mad one. Oh, gee, what a... And the Bull, he was a...
You picked some good gangs.
Oh, did I ever?
Do you remember little George?
Georgie Edwards.
Yeah, little George.
Yeah.
He's up in Owen Park. He's seropodist, you know.
Oh.
Is he? Well, yes.
You're up in it.
Yeah.
Little Frankie Edwards. Well, you know, little Frankie used to do the dumbbell act.
Yeah.
He fell down the hatch. He killed himself.
Drunk?
No, they come back after lunch on the River Burnett or one of those big rivers. You know, they were bloody. You had to go down into the tween deck, and the tween deck, then the ladder dipped under.
Yeah.
So it was 60 foot to the bottom, and you went down a few rungs of the ladder. Then you laid backwards to get onto the ladder going the lower hole. Well, he didn't lay backwards. He just went straight after lunch. Now I wasn't on the job when he got killed, so I don't know.
The greatest joke of all times, weren't they?
Oh, they were bastards.
Yes, riverboats.
Riverboats.
I never ever seen one
To
full.
build them to certain qualifications, I mean, certain specifications.
They were Aussie built ships.
So they'd be easy to work, but there was no safety.
No.
Safety regulations.
There were ships that were built to carry cargo overseas for this Australian coast. And they, by the time they half filled them, they couldn't get no more cargo for them. I thought the greatest waste of all time.
Government ships. wasn't it?
Bloody enormous.
Yeah.
Government, eh?
Enormous ships.
The only time they ever paid for the
After
was
the
on the
war.
coal.
After the war or before the war?
Well, I worked
Just
on
after the war.
Mm.
Just after the war. Well, more or less, yes.
Was it?
But they, the coal was the thing.
Well, then look, but can we go back? We were talking about difficult cargoes, and strangely enough, I would have thought that you were going to say the most difficult cargoes would be something like steel or something that was awkward.
No,
No.
they were easy.
Still was all right.
They were
Wasn't
good
it
jobs.
dangerous? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
it be?
yes.
It was dangerous, but it was easy.
See,
You know what I
was
mean?
dangerous about it? I mean, what could happen?
Well, I used to send a plate out on a pair of dog grips, on a chain, on a ring. Now this is plate, I'm just talking about
Plate of steel.
plate of steel, with a tail rope and a tail on it. And it used to have an S-bend in it. Now that rope, I ever thought that rope was strong enough, Tom. I never saw one break, but the bloody thing would go out. They were too long to get out of the hatch. You just couldn't sort of take them because they were longer than the hatch. Oh,
Like
30,
the
40
length of
feet.
these two rooms,
30
if not
foot,
more,
yeah.
and it would be 6 foot wide.
So,
Yeah,
So what do you use them for?
Oh, they're Boilermakers. You know, Boilermaker plus.
The plate of steel would be as long as these two rooms.
Well, these were local stuff.
Yeah,
weren't they,
yeah,
mate?
yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
dogs went in, hooking
What
like
the
that
hell's a
on
dog
each
A
side.
dog is a
grips.
grip.
Yeah.
and it
And
got a
hook in
chain.
on each side.
A
Got
chain
it,
runs
right.
through the top lug of the grip, through 2 rings and onto another ring. So when the weight's taken, it works as a scissor effect and it jams on the plate. They wouldn't slip, those dogs, but them bloody tail ropes.
Oh, the tail rope was only more or less to stop it from flopping.
Yeah.
What was the tail rope?
Well, a tail rope was just a rope tied on the hook with a steel hook on the bottom that you put on the end of the plate. And then when the plate went out, it was like that.
It was bent.
Yes, because
Like an S.
like an S shape. Otherwise, you never got out of the hatch because the hatch opening might have been 20 foot or 30 foot and the plate was 40 foot. But I always was just a worry when I saw it when I was on the wharf and it was coming down and that blood, all that weight of that plate was on that. But I never ever saw one break.
Yes, the only
Still
reason,
rods were the worst.
the only reason is, though, that you never seen one break is that you never put you knew how much rope to give it, didn't you?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You knew how much rope to give it.
The winch.
If,
Oh, no, we-
no,
Yeah.
if
we
you
did it
locked it
ourselves.
on too tight and took too much weight on
Yeah.
the tail, you would break it. But
Mind you, the strain on it was the dead.
But the most frightening job I ever had was discharging steel rods from a ship in those bloody bundles with bridles, steel rods, and sometimes they were too long, so you only had to put a round turn chain on them. And they start slipping out of the bundle. They're only,
Oh, you see,
only
putting
put-
them upwards and
Yeah.
slipping down backwards.
and we had nowhere to run on those river boats. There was no protection. There was no webbing you could get behind. There was nothing. You had to run up the stringers.
right up
And
the
like-
stringers.
They'd go, chong!
Yeah.
And that stringers are.
Yeah, she knows what stringers are. They run up the side.
Go on.
And like fitting, and my heart was moved when the tail of that swung around as it was going out. You'd be watching and listening to hear it. If it started to go, you were gone because them bloody rods had come out 100 mile an hour. Chung, 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 chung. If one hit you, it'll kill you.
Did it often happen?
No, which is amazing. And rails, Tom. What about landing rails on railroad tracks?
Yeah, on a wet night.
The sparks.
The
Zing.
sparks be going off.
Why? Where were the sparks? What would make
Well,
them
still,
spark?
Those railway lines landed on big flat top rail tracks.
Mm.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Heart attacks. You had
Didn't
to
do it.
stand on the track and the tail of it would be swinging around it.
What, the tail of the bundle?
The tail of the bundle of
Yeah,
rails.
yeah.
You only had to sell about 2 or 3, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
And you'd have to grab it.
Grab it.
Yeah.
And they were sort of locked into each other as you put them on the track, weren't they? One locked into the other, so that
Because of the
they
shape of the
yeah, that's right. So you had to put it down and say to that, look, come back, and he'd come back a bit and it'd start to slide. And then you'd jump off the bloody rail track because when he come back, it'd go 100 mile an hour, whee, straight down the track. Because as he come back, the weight of it'd swing along the steel plate floor and sparks. It was like a bloody, like Luna Park, wasn't it? Oh, I used to hate that. Oh, it frightened me.
Bit
You know,
nerve-
I
nerve-wracking.
was frightened when I worked railroad.
You mean you could be actually speared with one of those?
Oh,
Did it often?
Could
Did it
chop
ever
you,
happen?
chop you to
Yes.
bits.
It did happen.
Yeah.
Chop you to
The old fella that his arm taken off used to be up the union room, the caretaker.
Yeah. Oh, what's
Off
So
the
they're
yellow
taken
room.
off in a steel accident.
The last sling out of the ship, the yellow roo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who hit your roof?
The yellow roo, the ship. Last sling out, took his arm off. Williamstown.
Spiel.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been.
Timber
speed.
boats were timber ships were another one where if a sling wasn't made up properly and she started to spray, and as she
That bloody new iron binder. The stuff from Sweden. What was it called? Weatherboard.
Weatherboard.
Weatherboard's new iron binder.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's knee high and bone?
That's it. You'd lay it 3 wide, that knee high,
Yeah.
and a 2 and a 1 on top to lock it all it off.
Scramble.
Hey,
Better get going.
All right,
Yeah,
mate.
right.
See you later.
You'll be right.
Yeah. Well, this is
want to go with
No, no, no.
strangely, then the jobs that sounded the worst weren't the ones you disliked the worst. I mean,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
they just think,
That's right.